What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Shoot.
.com.
Yes. A lot of excitement tonight. We got The Finest Hours. Now, this movie, which is from Disney, starring Casey Affleck, well, it's actually starring Chris Pine, Ben Foster, Casey Affleck, Eric Bana, and it tells us a true story of a small boat rescue from the National Guard. Now, the only movie that I can really think of that I've seen about National Guard, off the top of my head, is The Guardian. You ever see the Ashton Kutcher and Kevin Costner?
No.
Never saw that?
I don't think so.
Solid movie. I think it's one of those movies that not a lot of people like, but I'm a sap, so that movie made me all sappy and stuff. But, you know, this is obviously a lot, you know, Guardian kind of took place in a more modern time, where this movie is going back to 1952, February 18, 1952, a small boat rescue that really did take place, and it's based off of a novel from Craig Gillespie. This movie I don't have a lot of expectation towards. I think, to be honest, Kung Fu Panda 3 will outdo this movie box office wise. But obviously this movie looks like a contender for the beginning of the year. Obviously, coming off of last year, I think we need a good movie. So hopefully this is it. Do you have any expectations going into this?
Absolutely none. I wanted to watch Kung Fu Panda 3, but the studio, DreamWorks, isn't giving us a midnight.
No.
So instead, we'll be watching
The Finest Hours.
Because I don't want to watch 50 Shades of Black.
Yeah, I mean,
just be honest. Like scary movies were just like, all right, wah, wah, and then
well, Scary Movies like Scary Movie 1 and 2, they had something.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And then they just totally kind of went west. But granted, you never know, might be the comeback movie. We'll have to just wait and see.
So how many hours is The Finest Hour?
Finest Hour is 2 hours. I think 1 hour and 57 minutes to be exact.
So let's see if this is gonna be.
See if Captain Kirk could take this ship home.
And if it'll be his finest hours.
Ooh.
Time out. So a little correction.
Yes, I said National Guard. It's Coast Guard.
Offensive.
Yeah, my apologies.
Luckily, Mr. Kent Wong.
It's just, you know, it's just off the top of the dome. You know, I said the wrong thing. I apologize. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
However,
anyone who puts their lives on for other gets my respect.
And we just got out of
the finest hours.
And I'm gonna have to say, not sure if that was
his finest hour.
It was okay. Chris
Pine. Star Trek 2 instead.
Oh damn! Come on, dog. No, Captain Kirk's character, Chris Pine.
Bernie Webber.
The way that he made him act, I'm assuming that's how that guy acted.
Yeah.
And that was, I'm just not used to seeing Chris Pine that way because he's
very stilted.
Yeah, he's just as good looking. Chris Pine is just, and then they mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, he look at the wife.
Never had to worry about your looks.
He's a good looking guy, and he's typically very. I mean, he's playing Captain Kirk for him.
Very charismatic.
You know, and he was not that character in here, and that was absolutely on purpose, and you know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I had a little mini Titanic moments in the movie. My favorite movie of all time. You know okay. And then it's also interested. It's
got a lot in common with this movie. Ships are breaking in half. People are out in the cold snow.
Yeah, and if I felt the noises, that the sound editing was really good too.
Yeah.
You know, because we were hearing like the screeching and all that. I'm pulling here, huh? Yes, I mean.
What about Casey Affleck? What about Ben Foster? Nothing, huh? But you enjoyed it, or not even say that.
Glad I watched it one time.
I don't think it was a bad movie.
No, it's not.
I just feel like the problem is that this is a very interesting true story, but there's nothing much to like emotionally grasp me to. Like there wasn't a scene where, I mean, like of course I wanted them all to get home. Granted, I knew they were getting home, just based on research before.
No, can you imagine Disney makes a movie?
Just totally changes history, kills them all off. That'd been horrible. But yeah, so I mean, but I just didn't find myself emotionally.
No, I was gonna say, can you imagine if they made a movie and it was a true story of a guy, Chris Pine, going out there, and then they all died?
Oh, gee, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they killed them all. That'd pretty be horrible.
Yeah.
Or just really went left with the movie. But I just feel like I wasn't emotionally invested when everything was going on. I definitely hear you about Chris Pine, where maybe Bernie Webber, the real man, the real hero here, or a part of the heroic crew, might have been very stilted and not as charismatic. But it's almost unbelievable with Chris Pine. So it kind of took me out of the movie. Like I'm watching Chris Pine trying to act this way, but I don't necessarily believe it. I don't think he did a bad job. I just couldn't buy him fully. Like, I just couldn't buy him being the unconfident, uncharismatic type of guy. I thought Ben Foster was good. He doesn't really have much to work with here in this movie. I think he was much better in The Lone Survivor alongside Mark Wahlberg. But I really think the star of this movie is Casey Affleck. And this obviously isn't Casey Affleck's best performance or anything like that. Gone Baby Gone, Ben Affleck's movie, great movie, and he's in it. It's amazing. Casey Affleck, just giving you guys a heads up, Casey Affleck's movie right now at Sundance is already earning 2017 Oscar buzz, so we'll keep that in mind for later this year. But I think he was probably the best performance in this movie. He was the character that I liked watching the most. His situation I thought was a little bit more interesting.
How's that movie called?
Off the top of my head, it's a longer title. I can't think of it all right now off the top of my head, but I'll think about it. I'll let you know. But I thought his storyline of being like under this captain and then having to kind of take over this half of a ship or this tanker was really interesting. And I thought that was probably where my interest was more than anything. And then his character. The movie is you know, it's beautifully shot. I think there's a lot of great things to look at in the movie, but there's just not much you could take with you. There's not that huge emotional connection on what's going on. I don't think a lot of people are going to be walking out of this movie. I'm not that you would necessarily be inspired, but like have this profound affection towards it. I think it's a very good watch, but like James said, I think it's only really a one-time type of visit movie.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I think that after what we've came from already, this has been the better of the movies that I've seen so far come out this year.
You liked it better than Dirty Grandpa?
Oh, don't get me started on Dirty Grandpa.
If you haven't seen that review, check that out.
Check it out now.
I'm on my phone is because I'm pulling up.
He's pulling up the movie.
So we still have Kung Fu Panda.
Yes.
That we're going to watch, but they didn't allow us to do the midnight. Which
they didn't do the midnight.
I won't be.
Not AMC Town Square's fault. It's just the studios didn't want to release it early. Granted, it's a kids movie, but yeah, I think the early releases, they even start earlier now than midnight. I think that is something that
like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we should have got some Kung Fu Panda because that's a movie that I've been waiting for a very, very long time.
Yeah, because I enjoyed them and I haven't seen Kung Pao Chicken in a long time. So
yeah.
So
you like the other two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I love the other two. I think honestly, really until How to Train Your Dragon 2, I think they're the best thing DreamWorks has produced.
All right.
Next week.
7 days. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Woo!
What?
You're gonna come see that with me, right?
Nope. I'm watching Hail Caesar.
Yes, Hail Caesar, the new Coen Brothers film. George Clooney and a bunch of other great actors. Josh Brolin also, and multiple other people. I'll be watching both of those films. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is a movie that I've been hearing about. I think it was a movie that I used to run this film club in high school a long, long time ago, and I remember that being film club news, that they're making a movie based off of this book. I'm not a fan of Pride and Prejudice. Actually, I failed a major test in my final English course because instead of filling out an essay on Pride and Prejudice, I wrote an essay on why we shouldn't have to read Pride and Prejudice and why it's a terrible book. And my teacher recanted with a 4-page letter of why we should. And my English teacher has moved on from school, but still hangs the series of letters on his wall. So I mean, it's I have a very big connection to this, and I'm excited for some zombies. You know.
So you're gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, definitely. I'll be here at the midnight movie for that. Very, very excited and pumped up. I think if any movie needs some spice or any story needs some spice, it's some Pride and Prejudice. And see, people kind of think this movie's really late to the game. You know, I mean, we had Abraham Lincoln, we had Hansel. You know, we've had these movies where I guess Hansel and Gretel isn't the type of movie. Han Solo. No, but we have these movies where we take realistic things and we throw these fictional, fantastic characters in them or odd things going on. And Pride and Prejudice, PPZ is the cool kids are calling it, was written before all these started hitting cinemas, and they all just kind of beat him to the punch as far as the film. However, I think the film will be a hidden gem.
All right. Well, we'll be back regardless.
Yes. And
January's already gonna be over by the next time we see everybody.
I know, man. It's already flying by. I got 1 month down. And for those who are following, you can check out more information on the eye, our links for the reviews from last week, and my week 3 update. Guys, I just hit 25 days of 365-day movie challenge, which means I have 340 days left. Well, actually 341 to be honest, because it's a leap year, I have an extra day, but that's unimportant. 341 days to go. I hope you're part of that journey with me. You can follow me at Twitter at JacobTron. All the information down here in the description box below. Next week, Hail Caesar and Pride and Prejudice vs. Zombies.
All right, and let's see if those are going to be our finest hours.
Ooh.